Hello. Today I'm going to be going through what I have learnt over the past year being 17. 3 weeks from today, I turn 18. Being 17 throughout sixth form as well, because that's taught me a lot. It's an age where you are almost transitioning from a child into an adult, because at 16 you're still obviously possibly in school, in secondary, or you still haven't got that proper independence yet. But then obviously once you turn 17, it's like, okay, now you're preparing for things like you can learn how to drive, you can, like, you feel a bit more free in that sense that you are now preparing to be an adult. There's a lot of pressure mentally to get to places, to be a certain way, to be mature, to know what you're doing, to have a sense of direction in terms of what you want to do as a job, where you want to live, how you want to live, what kind of family you want, if you want to be with someone, if you want to get married. I feel like even though you're so young, you're still getting older and you're still reaching the point where people expect you to have your life planned out in a way that you are set and that is what you want and that's that. Like, there's no ifs, buts, what ifs and stuff. And I've experienced that this year where I've decided, what do I want after sixth form? What do I want as an adult? And just who I want to be as a person, because it's really hard. You've got who you want to be, and if you try and put that on too much, you're being fake. You still need to be yourself, like authentically, and not fake a personality just because that's what you want to be. You'll figure out like a good middle ground of like who you are, what you want to be, and find a way in the middle, because you don't want to go too far and become someone you're not and then sit there and think, I don't know myself. I don't know myself at all. You don't want that. So I think figuring things out is a really hard journey, and you do not need to know it at such a young age. I've figured that out, that I want to be very strong, very mentally strong, and I've also figured that it's not something you can just do yourself. It's something that comes with a lot of maturity and a lot of life experiences, and it's not something that you can just go, yeah, I want to be like that, and then work towards it. You just have to let it come naturally, because it's just not going to fall into your hands. You know, you can't just gain wisdom and the changes that you would get after going through things without going through them. So I think give yourself time, let yourself just chill. Just chill. No like pressure and stuff. The more pressure you put on yourself, the worse you're going to feel that you're not going anywhere, and then you're going to be stuck where you was at the beginning. Friends are not important. Like, the people that are in your circle are in your circle. You don't need to make friends. You don't need to keep friends that aren't benefiting you. If they're making you feel like shit, if they're making you just feel uncomfortable in any way, shape or form, bug them off. Don't talk to them. You don't have to go up to them and be like, fuck you, I don't want to be a friend. Just distance yourself, because the more you distance yourself from them people, the better you will feel, especially in like school and stuff, because you are surrounded by them people. So if you have more of your own time and just go, I'm going to sit by myself for a bit, or I'm just going to go revise in this place alone, I just want some alone time. I am going to be doing uni, I'm going to be doing a degree, so I'm preparing for that. I'm preparing for my A-level exams. Stressful. No matter the age, no matter what qualification, they are stressful. And it is very individualist in the fact that you will have different stress levels on depending on your topic, your age, your like how well you cope with exams versus classwork and coursework and stuff like that, because they're completely different. I'm happy to sit in a class, but I'm miserable in an exam. At this age, you're just finding out who you are, and it's very stressful, especially in school where everyone's like, I'm doing this, I want to get here, I need to do this to get there, and some people just don't know where they're going. And I've had a good sense of direction, but not fully. And I feel like even if you have such like a big life goal and you know you want to get there, you're still going to have moments where you go, is that actually what I want to do? Do I want to go a completely different route? Do I want to restart everything, a new slate, and just do the complete opposite degree? It's brave to do that. Yeah, it might feel dangerous, but I think sometimes taking that risk is okay, because you don't want to be stuck in a career for the rest of your life, or stuck with a certain degree that won't get you where you want. your identity is becoming so much bigger of a part at 17. I feel like this is the age where people get their hair done the way they want. Obviously it can be done younger, but once you're out of like secondary, you can obviously dye your hair, you can have piercings, tattoos, obviously 18 tattoos, but you are starting to get the ideas of what you want and how you want to be as a person, what you want to look like appearance wise. So it's all a matter of like what you want to be, but not doing things too much on impulse, because obviously that happens when you're a teenager, and that is natural, it's normal. A lot of people do things on a whim, but you still need to be a bit careful and just realize you're doing it on impulse. Otherwise you're just going to be doing all these things and then going, shit. Reading books, watching films, watching shows, it's always a really good thing to just make yourself be more aware of other people, because as you get older you need that awareness, like emotionally, mentally and socially. Just be aware of people, and it'll come to you obviously through experience. But I feel like watching shows and stuff really gives you an insight to other people's lifestyles, and then you can take that with you with life. And obviously in school, in different situations, like social situations play such a big part in your life, when you go for an interview, when you're in a workplace, literally everything. But don't feel stressed to have a friend group in school. I feel like it's such a thing, like if you're on your own, it's like foreign. It's really not. You're fine if you're on your own, babe. You're fine. You are completely fine. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with being by yourself as long as you can take it and deal with it. Like, I do everything on my own, and I do good on my own because I know I'm on my own. I know it increases my independence. I know it makes me do more things. It lets me be calm. It lets me not feel trapped in a weird way, because obviously sometimes if someone's isolated away from people, they can feel quite trapped. But you have to learn to let it be a thing where you're not trapped by people or by yourself, really. You're literally like free from people and free from that feeling of like being suffocated by a group and you can't leave. So if you're by yourself, you know you have that freedom and independence to be yourself and have your own identity, and not to have people literally by your side going, do this, do that, do this. And people will be telling you what to do and people will be judging you. But you have to realize you're becoming an adult. You are now finding out who you are and what you want to be. If you want a relationship, like I said, and relationships at a young age are difficult. Your emotional maturity isn't up there at the moment. That comes with life. That comes with literally everything that you go through, and you will find it a struggle to be in a relationship probably at this age. There will be arguments, there'll be communication, there'll be disagreements. You might not have arguments with your partner, but there will be things you disagree on, or things that they might do that hurt you, and and you're like, that's annoyed me. I don't think I should be annoyed, so I'm going to keep it to myself. No, don't keep it to yourself, babe. As long as it's something that really affected you, you can tell them, no matter how stupid it is. Because I feel like as teenagers, we expect ourselves to be a really good relationship and be like, yeah, I'm in an amazing relationship, when really, be real. Be real. Like, you can have struggles. 40-year-olds have struggles in their relationship. You can have struggles. It's fine. You don't need to change or do anything to be in a relationship, especially if you've been through a traumatic relationship. Give yourself some space, give yourself time, because you're still at an age where you're figuring out yourself. So this is a time where, if you are single right now, just let yourself be free and do what you want before finding something. Like, if something comes to you, it comes to you, but don't go out looking for it if you haven't worked on yourself. Otherwise you'll be in a relationship and trying to work on yourself at the same time, which sometimes can be okay, but sometimes it can be a bit suffocating. So it kind of depends where your awareness is of yourself and like how you deal with things, because it can be a massive struggle. And take this, because this is coming from me, it can really be a struggle to be in a relationship with someone who has maybe mental struggles. It can take a massive toll on yourself if the other person has them, vice versa, obviously. You need to not put so much pressure on yourself. Just try and just have the comfort of each other. maybe minimize communication outside of seeing each other, because sometimes when you're texting so much it can get quite overwhelming because you're constantly on your phone. It's just, it can get a bit suffocating, and sometimes you just want some space. Like, you're at home by yourself, you want to be alone, and you can ask for that space. Obviously I'm still, in the grand scheme of things, obviously I'm young, I'm very young, but I'm getting somewhere, you know. I'm in my like buffer periods between like teenager and an adult. Just don't put too much pressure on yourself. I feel like that's the biggest thing that I've learned, especially in the last few weeks. Do not try and put too much pressure on yourself to be this, this and this. Just, if you know what you want to be like, that's that. You don't have to like false it, because otherwise then you become someone you're not. Cutting people off that you don't need, specifically family. If there is family that disrespect you and you don't want in your life, don't have them in your life. And I mean this coming from someone that has a very, very small circle of family that they see. You do not need all your family in your life, blood or not. Basically all of my family outside of this house that I see is my dad's family. So my stepdad's family is my step family, and they're my family. You don't have to like have a certain loyalty to people if they don't have it for you, even if they are family. And that goes for immediate family as well. You will have struggles with your parents as well, and it's just trying to manage yourself and trying to let yourself be your own person and try and still have your own life, even if people are around you. Just be by yourself and don't have a go at people. Just distance yourself. You'll have such a better time distancing yourself than trying to argue with someone who thinks they're right. Like, if you argue with someone, what's that going to do? That's not really going to help them. It's not going to help yourself because they're not going to agree with you. So just distance yourself. Just cut the toxic people, please, and focus on yourself, because this is the time where you need to do that the most. You've had your childhood, now it's time to be a person, be an actual person, not being attached to anything apart from like your own identity. It's a lot, and I know that this is quite a deep conversation, but I feel like it might help someone. And obviously 17's a weird age. You're getting somewhere in life, obviously. Like, you start having a job, education, college, uni, all of that jazz is going on, and you're really like being pushed to go somewhere in your life. So yeah, I hope this helps someone, and I really appreciate all the support. So thank you for watching.